Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Helios Underground Survival. I'm checking to see if... Okay, so this is our second take, because we were actually on for 10 minutes and then the network dropped us. So hopefully the network stays solid for us right now. I gave you guys a tour of what I did offline, but apparently the network decided that it was sick of that, and so yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Thanks for sticking with me, I appreciate it. Hopefully we get more than 10 minutes out of this stream. Very frustrating. I've had a lot of problems with the network lately, and it's very, very annoying. And it's nothing really going on my end, it's just that they are, for some reason, having trouble trying to keep our streams going. I don't get it. Alright, so we're going to do a few trips back and forth here. Getting some components, bringing it back. We're going to apply that every time we grab some stuff. We're going to try to weld what we can with it, with what's available, what we need to do, and then the rest of it we'll throw into our storage. Here's the thing, we're going to need a lot of materials for the building we're going to do, and I think I like the idea of taking some time off to put together some sort of cargo carrying kind of ship. But it's going to have to be heavy, so we're going to need probably a couple of turrets. The design I have in mind is going to involve 2 side-mounted turrets. That way we've got everything covered, you know? So, we're going to zoom down here and go in through our favorite door here. I just find it convenient to go in this door and go from there, you know? Alright, let's get out here, and we got some steel pipes, so I know that we can be able to fix some of these. Alright, those have steel pipes. Outstanding. Okay. Let's see here. We've got GAT ammo, so we might as well run over and put that in here. That way it can be fed to the guns. I'm gonna snatch up a few of these because we're gonna go weld up some of the garden, which you guys hadn't seen yet. We're gonna drop off. Let's go ahead and while we're at it, we'll grab one of those. I'm gonna grab 123 of those. We're gonna drop this off, and that off. And then yeah, so we're gonna go back over, and you guys are gonna get to see what is the garden. Okay, so we have a greenhouse that we're working on. We also have all of the colonists' residences are now open. We just have to do the work for it. We've plumbed up there. As you can see, we have residents here. And then over here is a little utility room for us. And then over here is another residence, another residence. Go further down, another colonist residence, another residence. And then we get up here, residence here, and then this is our greenhouse area. Go ahead and turn this on. We have a lot more work to do. As you can see, I cleared it out. We've got some algae farm stuff. We've got these over here we still need to weld up, which is where those pipes are going to go. And then we've got more armor plating to put up here and things like that. And then as you can see, I've got some conveying in place, which is why I brought the extra parts. That way we can maybe get some of this conveying started. Alright, how many? Yeah, we still got plenty to go. Alright, cool. And then we'll go down this one. And we are out of materials. Large tubes aren't going to be needed in this part, so let's see. And then we have all this up here we still need to weld up too. We've got a lot of need for parts. The large tubes, I think I'm going to drop them off in here. We have material in here which we need to use, so we're going to go ahead and snatch up some of this too. And see if we can't get some more of this done here. Alright. Okay, and wait a minute. The idea is ultimately we'll get this all set up so we can be able to grow the food for the colony. It's going to be quite a bit because, you know, It's a lot of food that we need to get for a lot of people. Alright, and then that one here doesn't need anything else. Okay, do we have... No. I don't know how well those are going to grow there, honestly, but we're going to give our best shot. Alright, let's go ahead and get up here and get some of these done. And that's, yep, that's going to be it. So as you can see, we've got a lot of conveyoring that we can do, so that's good. And then we'll head back out and see about getting some more stuff. Make another run out that way. Like I said, it'd be easier if we had an actual ship that we could load up, but we do have maneuverability since we do have a jetpack, which is not usual for my games, but in this particular scenario, we definitely got it. I think maybe when I do the next Underground Survival, which is going to be the scenario I posted not too long ago on the alien planet, and I think on that one I might go jetpack off. So let me know what you think. I mean, that's going to be a brutal series because it's got a lot more coming at you besides just drones. I'm not sure how much the drones are going to come at you. I may have to do some calibrations on that to adjust the difficulty on that. Because you have so many other things to go, where here you just have the drones. But there you've got the actual planet trying to kill you. You've got sabroids coming at you. I mean, it's a lot. So, I don't know. You guys have to let me know. Let's see. Medical components. Yeah, they're useful, but they're also very heavy. Oh, I see. This is to feed the ammo to the weapon systems. Okay. So, let's go on top. Let's see here. Okay, we can get some more pipes. That's useful. Small pipes also useful. We can always use motors. As you saw, we go through a lot of those with this whole setup. We're gonna leave this here just in case we get attacked. We'll take those though. I guess we could take some of this here. Metal grids. Yeah, we could probably use those. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to drop the grids, and I'll tell you why I'm going to drop the grids, because I think it might be a good idea to consolidate and take one of these cargo containers. That way we've got a little bit more of just general materials. So let's go ahead and get in here. A cargo container 4. Alright, we're going to transfer... Okay, alright, cargo container 4 is full. Let's go with this one here. Cargo container 3, well that's practically full already. Alright, we're able to fill most of what cargo container 8 had. Alright, now we want to transfer cargo container 9 to cargo container 8. Because we're going to shred off 9. If we can. Yes, alright. Container 9, you're gone. And we'll take this while we're at it. Good. And looks like we got plenty of stuff there. We can go ahead and take some of these off too. That'll give us some more small pipes, which we're going to need. Oh, you kidding me? Man, I don't want inventory to be full. I want those pipes. Alright, what do we grab that we absolutely don't need? We don't need that. And we don't want that, and we don't need that. That should give us enough to maybe get those pipes off of there. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, no. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Yeah, see, I don't care too much about the rest of that. I mean, that's stuff you can build with the survival kit. I'm not worried about that. Alright, back we go. So when we come in, the first thing we're going to do is use what we can on the deck of the main deck of the hangar, and then the rest of it will go over and we'll hit the conveying inside the greenhouse. We've got, as you saw, plenty of food for now, but we're going to need it later. The other thing I might want to consider is we might want to take that, load up some of this stuff for use when we build that ship. I'm thinking that might be a really good option, is to get that ship going. So some sort of cargo ship with the weapons. I want to do auto cannons, so we're going to need some more munitions for those. Oh, where'd the... Wait a minute. There was 2 of those. Where's the other one? It was right here. Where in the heck did that go? Oh, that's weird. Alright. Huh. Must have went home. Interesting. Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get this set up. Cool. That works. Oh, so those are your steel plates. Alright, no problem. I don't know. I'm really tempted just to... I like that support beams there. Those are kind of cool. And then... Alright, those we need glass for. We use the glass on the other. I set this up so that we have a projector here and we have this here. And the reason why I did a merge block here is because if we decide to just build a drone from there, we can do that. Now, I think this should work because these things go out, I believe, 2 squares. So I think this should set us up. We just need to make sure that whatever we build stays 3 squares wide, no wider. I think we could pull it off. So that is something we want to consider too. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get this. Try to get as many of these loose little things like this done. Oh yeah, we probably should get this done too. Okay. Alright, cool beans. Yeah, let's go ahead and here's the problem. The problem with this is it's getting full of tanks. Okay, we'll dump those. We've got 1 left on there. We're going to take... Let's grab another tank there. We're going to burn through. We still got 11 tanks, though, so it's still pretty good. And then we got 2 more hydrogen, or 2 more tanks up there. These tanks are gonna... We're gonna try to fill these tanks at some point with hydrogen, because these are gonna this is what we're gonna fuel our ship with when we get it to get out of here, and we're gonna want to convey it too. Actually, probably run a conveyor line, probably down from there down to here, and then run it straight down the middle here is where we'll probably send it. Like right down the middle here, and then set conveyor points along here maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright, so let's go back down to where we're going to be utilizing these remaining pipes and motors. And there we go. I swear, it does not last long. This stuff goes really fast. Got lots of large pipes though, so that's probably good in some way, but you know. Got a lot of large pipes. We could always tear the pipes down, but I don't want to because in this playthrough, like most of my playthroughs that involve salvage, I can't really build them, so yeah, that's the thing. Uh-oh, looks like we're getting dark. Out we go. I'm not too worried. If we run into any kind of drones, they can just follow us and then they can get shot down. one of the nice things. But I think that once we start taking the fight to the pirates again and taking out their facilities one at a time, I want to be able to have an armored ship that we can take. I also want to put some control blocks on our fighter. That way the fighter can actually follow, and maybe we can have some cap above us while we're working. That'd be really handy. Or we could make dedicated assault drones that just follow us around, which is probably not a bad idea, period. Alright. Oh! Yeah. That's an OSHA violation right there. Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah. I don't want... I have those in place in case there's any shooting going on. I just need... I need to fix these OSHA violations so we don't end up in trouble. There we go. There we go. Now we can not fall down and die. Good. Alright, cool. Let's pick those up. Huh. Alright, so that takes care of all that. Fun times. Well, since we don't have anything shooting on this end... Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want anything thinking it can come in here and see what we're doing... Alright, that's better. Alright, and we don't want... Let's see... Don't need that. Okay, let's put it in here. There we go. Alright, let's go down and see if we can't grab those last little bits. Alright, grab that and the motors. Alright, let's go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Weather's looking really nice. Beautiful scenery, honestly. It still feels weird to me to be flying around with the jetpack, honestly. I don't usually do this. It's not usually a jetpack thing for me, but... That's okay. That's okay. Actually, it might be kind of cool to steal the batteries off of a couple of those, grind them down to hack them. If we could successfully hack them down, we could utilize their batteries, and that would be good since we can't really make power cells, which is kind of a pain. Alright, so let's go ahead and first priority is going to be to get this fixed up. Nope, can't. Computer chips. Okay. Well, do we got computer chips here? Because we might as well just do that. We do. We have a lot of computer chips. However, we have too much of the other stuff, so we'll get that on the flip side. Let's go ahead and get some more of this stuff done here. Oh, first of all, let's get that done. That done. Alright, cool. The other thing is once we get the greenhouse up and running, we're going to definitely need to do some serious ice mining. To the point where it might be advantageous to put up an armored, like an armored mining facility, which might not be a bad idea. It's going to need to be armored, and it's going to need to be, like, seriously protected. Because these guys, they don't care. They will blow it up if they get a chance. So, alright, and we're going to need, let's see. Alright, that takes care of all those. And we still got enough for one more. Alright. That's it for that. Oh, do we need computer chips for this? Let's see. No, we do not. Alright, cool. And we'll fly back this way. And then we'll go back here. We'll drop the computer chips in here. Well, we needed one. We used the other ones. Wait a minute. Does that need computer chips? It does. Huh. Okay. Actually, we'll drop this off here. And then we'll collect another one of these. We have so many hydrogen tanks because those stupid drones, they're always dropping hydrogen tanks. I don't understand why that's the only thing they ever like to drop. I mean, I'm not that I'm complaining, because, you know, I mean, it's, we need it, it's nice, but it's annoying. Because they can drop food. Food would be good. Ammunition, that's always nice too. That's okay though. At least they drop some sort of goodie. I mean, it could be just nothing, which is also very annoying. But that's okay. So pretty much we're going to do this for just a little bit here. Alright, actually, you know what? We're going to go this way here. We need to do something when we get up here, though. We've got some protection here, which is good. But I notice we're running low on energy for the suit. So I need to do something here. Alright, so we need to do a couple things. Alright guys, I will be right back. Mother Nature is calling me, so be right back guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for your patience. Mother Nature is one of those people, or one of those entities or things in life that just absolutely does not want to take no for an answer. Alright, so, let's see if we can salvage what we had down there. Wow, it's dark out here. Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? We should grab these, grind these off too. And that'll give us some more stuff too. Cool. Cool, alright. And we'll leave that there, so, well, no, actually, we don't need to leave that there. Alright, back we go. So what we're gonna do is, that gave us a lot of pipes. That's gonna be really handy in getting some more of that conveying done. But I'm thinking we might want to start a production line for, because we could do, like, let's see here. Well, we were doing kind of like a salvage thing. I don't know where we get everything from salvage, so yeah, I guess we'll do that. But we were doing, I usually, when I do salvage, I do, like, there's two different ways I'll do it. Usually when I do salvage, it's like, your survival kit can make stuff, but your assemblers can't make components, so you have to salvage those. But on the other hand, we also, I sometimes will do like salvage of, like, we initially started this salvaging the actual component, like that and this and stuff. But then we switched over to doing component salvage instead, and I think that was actually a much better idea. Okay. And does this have any kind of grid? No, it doesn't, not in the back. Alright, cool. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and head on back and get some more of this stuff done. Do we have metal plates? We do not. Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure that all of this is, get this piping done as much as possible. Alright, so now we're down to here. Now where is, okay, so that turns into here. And that comes down to here, and this one here will come down, oh yeah. Go ahead and get that done. And then this is where we'll put the irrigation system, which we were waiting actually to do that. I couldn't do that before because we did not have the other portion of that done, so. Now, interestingly enough, the irrigation line only has one conveyor option on that side and two on the top. Huh. That's kind of annoying. Oh wait, not really. We could put it like this. And we could put it like this and we can run the piping over to it up above and then have it come down. So actually we'll put it right there. We need steel plates. Do we have steel plates in here? We do not. I'll take a steel plate from here. And then we can put it up. How about that? There we go. Well, that works out pretty cool, actually. And we could actually conceivably move that cargo container over there if we wanted to. Or we'll leave it there and put another cargo container there, I guess. But you know what we could do? Ooh, idea. If we take this cargo container out, we could set up a second irrigation system there too, but I think one should be able to be enough. So, and this is where having the large steel tubes comes in, guys. I knew we'd need those. Now let's go ahead and hit that with everything we can, and I'm gonna go ahead and set up, we want that to be the same, so we're gonna run a pipe. Let's run a pipe down to it. Okay. One there. Nice try, guys. There they're trying. Here they're back again, just trying to cause a nuisance. Alright, get another motor. We can run that down to here. So we just need steel plates for a lot of these now. Gonna do a run through here, make sure, well, we still have, alright, so there's actually quite a bit we need to do with that. We got quite a bit of those pipes left. Yeah, alright, cool. Alright, well, that's good. Let's head on back. That thing is bouncing around like crazy. They try, they really do. But it just doesn't work. Get some more supplies for these guys. Let's see here. Alright, cool. Let's see. What else do we need pipes for? Alright, well, I guess we've pretty much used as many pipes as we can use for anything. So, that being said, let's see here. I think we just need a lot of metal plates. A lot of steel plates, which is good, because we'll need those, I'm sure. We can drop off these steel plates in here. Yeah, we need a lot of steel plates. That's kind of what we're after. Although the interior plates would be good for those. Alright, let's check our... Yeah, we're good. Alright. Switch to my weapon just in case there's somebody doing something dumb out here. You're just crashing around on everything, aren't you? Alright, back we go. Alright, so I'm thinking, let's go ahead and make a plate run, and then when we do this plate run, we'll come back and we'll think about how we're going to build. See, here's the trick. This is the challenge. If we build something in the repair bay, we need power cells to power it, unless we go with reactors without a power cell, but we leave a space open for the power cell. We could do that. Actually, you know what would be really kind of cool is to do a design where we can drop down on top of a power cell, merge block it, and take it. And then put some steel plates underneath. That might actually be a cool way to go. So, I think we might need to do some steel plate work here. Alright, well, that's that. We should probably set it up so that we have a merge block already included in, and then that way all we have to do is slap a merge block on the other battery, and then we just land on top of it. And then boom, we've got it. And then we just go ahead and put our plating over it. But I don't know, it's going to be kind of tricky to do that, but I think that might be the best way to be able to incorporate that. Well, that was weird. What's going on over there that has all the weird lights? Something blow up over there or something? Are these on?
Fuel low.
Ruh-roh. Ow! Yeah, fuel on. Ow, that hurt. Yeah, teach me to not pay attention. Alright, let's put it back. Get a new fuel tank. No wonder we could fit so many. Alright, so we'll use the glass on this thing here. Alright, cool. Okay, we got steel plates. Let's go ahead and head back over here and get some steel plate done on the in the garden. But first, let's get this done. Ah, that works out nice. Cool. Alright. Do we got? No, we don't. I was just checking to see whether or not we had any, interior blocks, and that's pretty much all she wrote on that. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and drop some grid in here. Doesn't matter where we drop it, it can still be pulled, and back we go. Fun times. Alright. Ow. Alright. Getting hungry, so let's go ahead and have our other burrito, the one we took. Alright. We're gonna sit inside the fighter cockpit here for a second. Get some energy, much needed energy. We're gonna head back, get more plates. This is why I kind of am thinking, I think after this next plate run, we should be thinking about building it. Or do we have, well, actually, are there plates available? Anywhere? Or are we out of plates, period? Ooh, there's not a lot of plates left in supply either. Well, that's definitely not good. Okay, there's 187. I mean, 189. That's it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we got to keep our metal up, you know. Let's see. We're gonna put plates in place. We're gonna go plates. Yeah, we're light on steel plate. We need that plate for just for the base's repair system needs plates. Yeah, we got to get some more plates taken care of here. That's just all there is to it. All right. And back we go. I just had this horrible thought, guys. What if I'm flying along like this and all of a sudden a meteor storm comes through and then hits me in flight? I mean, what are the odds? It would be pretty mad, though, but that's okay. Wouldn't be the craziest thing that's ever happened in this particular playthrough. I still can't believe we got caught by that crossfire. I was back looking at that past episode where we're just coming in here, and that's when everything went crazy, and there was bullets and rounds and stuff coming from above and below, and we went through a tracer rain, and it was insane. We probably should go down and spend some time grinding up that adversary. Alright, so this whole trip right now was just to resupply the base here with materials that we need. And we'll run that glass up topside. Alright, now yeah, we got plenty of hydrogen. Now we'll just go back and get some more, oh man, no we're not. I am just so waffly when it comes to this, but we're going to take 100 to that, and we're going to do some work on a design. I just feel like my creativeness is working here, so. Alright, so we want to do a couple things. First of all, I want to be able to build this off of here, And we're going to use light armor blocks. We're going to go, well, we're going to go back one, down one, and then we're going to go down one more. Yeah? Let's go down like this. Alright, cool. So I'm thinking we're going to want a battery in place in this. And I'm thinking we're going to put the battery right here. Now this is a cargo ship. So I want to make sure that we have everything set up with cargo in mind. So, but I'm thinking we'll put the battery down here and then we'll put armor plating around the battery. So what I'm going to do is, now those batteries are large grid. I mean, they're large batteries that are inside of those. So I want to be able to set this up so that I have the idea of where I'm going to be. Okay, so it's going to be like this. So that's where the battery's going to go, and there is our stuff there for the battery. So what we're going to do, I'm thinking, is this is going to be the kind of the way the case is going to go around the battery. And I figure what we'll do is we'll use heavy armor plates, not like actual full blocks, but we'll use plates for this idea. And then we're going to put this here, this here. Now, let's see. We need to have downward thrust. So, let's see here. Downward thrust. I'm thinking we're going to go with, let's do this. That way it's all set up like that, so we have it right there. And then this is where we'll put the merge block that's going to merge with what's the top of the deal here. So we'll put, nope, not you. Although we could do that actually. If we did a large merge block, that would probably merge a lot better, because we could just literally like stick it on top of the battery like so, and then put another one on top like so. And if we did that way, then we could definitely just slide it in place. Actually, that's actually probably the best option, honestly, because then we just line it up and then just let it just drop it down on there, and once it locks in place, we're good. So if we do that, we're gonna need to make it a little taller than that though. And we need to overbuild it so that we're able to have, you know, extra. Now we do have 2 power cells in there that we could make a small battery with, but I don't want to waste that. Hydrogen engine would be best, but we do have a lot of uranium. So what I'm thinking is we go, if we do we put the cockpit in here and we face it, the nose faces out. Yeah. And then we build it out towards the back. We could get away with that. What kind of cockpit do we want though? And the cockpit, let's see. We're gonna have up to here. This is where we'll put the merge block will be right on top of this. Alright, so that's where the merge block will go. Alright, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and go down and we'll grind that out. Merge block will go there, and then around the merge block we could put other things. I'm thinking right here we could have a downward thrust. Now we want it to be really powerful, so I'm thinking we need large scale turbine is what I'm thinking. So let's go with and if I'm going to do a large scale turbine, we actually want to do, because this is going to be basically like a brute haul is what this is going to be like, just force our way through, you know. Alright, so put that there, that goes there, and then actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go with something a little different. We'll go with that. Alright, now up here, this one here we're gonna have, let's see, I don't think I need to have conveyoring on this actually. So we can get away with, let's see. I know last time we did a pretty big cargo. Oh wait, we gotta have interior plates for that, don't we? Yeah, we do. We got some interior plates in here we can snatch up. We do. We have 22 of them. Outstanding. Just enough to get this design in place here. Once we get it built up, we'll be golden. So I'm thinking regular cargo pods like this instead of the other kind. And then, oh wait, we gotta make sure that we leave enough room for the weapon systems that are gonna go on the sides. Actually, you know what we could do? I know I don't want to go back to it, but this is like my favorite in the world, but we could do a vertical container, which would allow us the opportunity to have the ability to have a container and still be able to, like, do stuff with it. Yeah, I like that. That's actually really cool. And then we could put on either side a turret. Oh wait, we're going to do an autocannon turret, which means we don't need the large containers holes on it. Ah, that's true. Which means we could get away with the smaller turret. We could do the... Yeah, if we did this... Oh, large container, that would work, I guess, but that's a little too big. I mean, if we did this, we could put the turret on the sides, and it would still be pretty big. And it would work. I don't know. I'm really torn, because I like the shorter profile of this. And we could still slap the sides with it, and we could put a connector on the end of it too, which means we could connect with a connector. But on the other hand, we want to be able to land this thing on the connector on the deck. So probably the other one, as much as I hate to say it, this might be the best option. We can still put a connector on the bottom, which would allow us to be able to connect to the ground and still be okay. But we need to put it up this high because we need to have room for the connector, and we still want to be able to keep the room good enough for the battery to get on there and not have an issue with the connector interfering with the battery going in there. But then I don't know, we could always just grind off the connector, I guess, when we find the battery and then merge with the battery that way. But if it might get sucked up in there though if the connector's in place too though, so that could be good. Alright, we'll go with this. And that gives us an elevation. and gives us the ability to have a connector on the bottom. So we might as well put that on here. Even though the connector is lower, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And then, oh, yeah, that's the other thing. We're going to need to have, yeah, we need something else. We can't put that there like that. We're going to need to have a connector, a conveyor connector here, because we need to have fuel for the, we want to have fuel for those reactors, and a place to merge, to set those reactors on the build. So, that being the case, we set the conveyor converter on there, then we set that on there. It's a little bit longer than I want, but you know what? That's just how it is. Okay, that sets it up that way. That's good. That allows us to have, let's see. Now, let's get the weapons on here. Oh, we're definitely going to want a beacon and an antenna. The beacon can go there. And actually, you know what? I'm kind of feeling the antenna in the front. Even though that would be necessarily not good. Because if we put the antenna in the front, then there's always every chance that it could get messed with. So yeah, it's probably better to embed it. So we'll embed it here, we'll rotate it in place like so. And then I want to get a control element on here, so we're going to go to here. I want a remote in here so that I can be able to fly it remotely if I want. So underneath the turret is a great place to do that. Alright, cool. And then over here is where we're going to put the weapon system, and it's going to be autocannons. And the reason why I chose autocannons is because, or assault cannons. If I go with assault cannons, that's like got some serious like range on it. I just want to make sure the connection's correct. Yep. Okay. Now, the problem with that, though, is it's going to make it pretty heavy. That's a 275 versus 225 PCU, which is also going to mean, you know... But, I don't know, the autocannon does use... It does have a good punch, 800 meter range. But the assault cannon is just like... It can really mess with stuff, but at range. And that's the really cool part, but on the other hand, I don't know. It's a tough call. Well, let's put it there, and then we'll see how we feel about it, because that's pretty big and hefty. And the thing we have to keep in mind is the fact that this isn't a gunship. We have a lot of weight that's going to go in there, and we're going to need the thrust to lift that sucker up. And that means we're going to be putting some turbines down here as well as our connector. So let's go ahead and get the connector in place, which actually is lined up perfect to merge with the connector that's directly below it as it is. So once this welds up, it'll just be easy peasy connection. So but I'm thinking we're definitely going to want some lift turbines that are flat underneath here. Like right there. And a lift turbine here. Because that's going to give us 2. And then we're going to I definitely want to get a large sci-fi one right here. One here. And one here. We could go with a short one that's halfway. You know, I don't know, that's kind of high up in the air. Maybe we'll put one right up in here somewhere. Maybe what we'll do is maybe now we still have to put a cockpit up here too. And we have to figure out how we're going to do said cockpit. Unless we put the cockpit up here. That actually is not a bad plan. Because if we put the cockpit up there, we can put an H2O2 gen back here. And it would be connected in. And that's not necessarily a bad spot to put it. I haven't done a cockpit above a cargo pod like that before. But that would actually work really well. And that has the two things there, which means we could go with that and then put the H2O2 gen behind that. That way we've got some sort of like situation there. Actually, that's a brilliant idea. And then we could run conveying to the H2O2 gen. Well, actually, we don't need it because we'll have conveying in the form of into the cargo container there, where we could have ice, which would fill the H2O2 gen as well. Plus, we could have, that leaves it open back here. If we could put the gyros back here as well. So you know what we could do? If we make this antenna go sideways, then we could put gyros in here also. And we could do an H2O2, or not H2O2 gen, but a, we could connect a converter right here, like that. And then that, we could take it right across the top of this. That would actually be okay. And then put our thrusters on here to go out the back end. And then, yeah, I like this. This is actually coming together really well, guys. It's going to be an interesting thing to see how this plays out, because we want to have, I do want to have thrusters on the sides here, and I need to have thrusters in all the other angles. I want this thing to be able to fly, you know. I want it to be able to do what it needs to do. We could put a, now on the nose, I want the nose to come out a little bit. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that, but I like this where we're going to have this set up like in here. Let's go ahead and get some more light armor blocks in play. One there. There. Oh yeah, we'll put one right in the middle here. Here, and then here, and then one in the middle. Alright, cool. And then, let's see here. We need to have some gyros on here, and we need to have reverse thrust, and all that. I had planned this to be the bow, but it turns out it's not. It's not going to be the bow. It's going to be the stern. That's okay, because you know, these things, they kind of come together how they come together, and who knows what's gonna be happening. The battery's down in there. This gives us a spot where we can slap a reactor, because we'll have two of those. Why not, you know? We have the ability to have them. I like the small warfare reactors. I think they're really cool. I think they look neat. and they're pretty flat, which makes them really nice. So 2 warfare reactors ought to be just fine, and like I say, we can be able to do some greebling and stuff like that in here to be able to make things a little bit better. Let's see here. I want to do a... I'm thinking... I mean, we could do a remote, but I want to have some flight AIs in place in case we need to do something else with this. I don't know what else we would do, but it might be nice to have a flight AI in place. And then we'll have a defensive combat one, which is really nice to have. And then we'll have an offensive and a task block on this side. Alright, and on this side here we'll have basic task block. Cool. And then it might be nice to have some event controllers for things, you know, just so that, you know, blah blah happens. And then we're covered, so let's go ahead and get an event controller on here. But first things first, we're going to do the large scale, the large Atmo thruster for vertical lift. We'll do that right there. And we'll do another one right over here. And then hopefully their big guns won't be dumb and shoot it, because that would suck. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go with again, we're not planning on huge battles, so I'm not really setting this up with super heavy armor. I don't want to have anything significant that causes huge problems. I just want something that's got a little bit of protection and a little capability in case drones harass us while we're trying to fly back and forth. And I will be armor plating the cockpit with just that I might do heavy armor plate, just because for some reason they have this obnoxious need to hit my cockpits. I don't know why. I mean, I thought about putting a cockpit here. I mean, we could have done that. But on the other hand, if we did that, it would be kind of, I don't know, weird. Or maybe it's not weird. It's a little more streamlined if we did that, actually. It actually looks kind of cool. Huh. Okay, now I'm seeing how that looks, and I kind of like it. But if we do that, we're going to need to do something with the... Well... flush cockpit looks good too. And that's got side-mounted conveying, and we could put an underbelly conveying. I could actually have it up like this if I wanted to, and then have the underbelly conveying down there. Actually, I kind of like that, honestly, guys. Because we could do a conveying situation and have... Oh, man. Okay, that's actually really cool. Because if we put that there, and then we go with... Oh, wait. That's outside. Oh, no, no, no. We'll have to set up a whole new set of stuff going out. We'll have to make this longer. If we do that, it'll weld it, but the welding wall's not that long. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna need to like go out a couple more blocks. Oh wow, okay, well we can do that. That can work, I guess. We just expand things out a little bit. Why not? Let the needs be there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. How are we gonna do this? We're gonna need, wow, yeah, okay. Let's do that. We're gonna go up here. We're gonna streamline this sucker. We're gonna make it very streamlined. I mean, that's actually a pretty big ship. Pretty decent size, honestly. We might have to double up on the vertical thrust because of how heavy it'll be, but it is, yeah. And we could throw some barrels on here for additional securement for storage. But it would definitely have a more streamlined situation. Armor plate this front end like with heavy armor. Set some thrusters in here that are downwards. You know, we're going to need to really thruster heavy this, but I think we can actually pull it off. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's give it a try. I mean, what's the worst thing that'll happen? It won't work, and then we'll be sad. So let's rotate that in place and put that there. And that way we can get a conveyor line that runs down here. So we put that in place. We can then run a conveying down here, which we can armor up. There's no... Well, you know what? If we wanted to really do this good, we would extend it out one more block and have an aft conveyor that would connect with the cargo. If we did that, then we could put the thrust underneath too, and it would actually work out really well that way. It would keep the sleekness of the ship in place too. All right, over here we're gonna go ahead and get some automation in place. I want timer block, and I want an event controller. And I want that on both sides. The reason being is because there's always things that you could use a timer block and an event controller for. I mean, seriously. There's always an opportunity where where it just works out really nice. Where if you've got a timer block, you can do multiple actions at once. You know, it just makes it easy, makes it nice. So we'll do 3 timer blocks, 2 event controllers, and let's see. What other kinds of fun little things do we want to include? You know, that's the other thing. We put nose-mounted weapons if we want. Or we could even do nose-mounted drill or welder tool, something like that. Grinder tool actually would be really cool. How big is a grinder tool? Oh, it's probably too big. Oh wow, yeah, that's ridiculously big. Yeah, that would stick out way too far and requires a large thing. We could do it if we took if we lifted this up and put it on top of that. Like if we took this off and lifted it up and we slapped it on top, we could do it. That would actually be really cool. And then we could grind off that thing and we wouldn't even need to get out. See if we took it like that and we put this on there. Like so. We would need to do some serious, like, thrust situation on this, like, big time. It would need like lots of thrust, but we could do it. It would be possible. But we'd have to put our cockpit back up on top here and then run it off of here instead, which would raise the profile a bit. But we could put a hydrogen engine back here for additional power. And that wouldn't be a bad thing. If we did that, but the other thing is that we need to make sure that we can get, like, but this would work for a recovery vehicle. That's actually really smart. Seriously, for real, really smart. So if we do, instead of a flush cockpit, we did a standard cockpit, a regular cockpit. Right here. I mean, the other one was just a sit down and you lift it up, but this one here actually would work. And we could actually harvest from some of those flying ships too, which is actually a really good idea because that would be very helpful. So what if we did a flush cockpit? We did it right here. If we did a flush cockpit right there, that works out. That actually looks kind of cool.
Energy
And
low.
then we did a H2O2 gen, which we definitely need to do. If we keep the, well, I need to see on this. Let's go back to the cockpit here. I need to know where the connectors are on that thing, because I think, yeah, they're midway on there and on the bottom on the sides. So we could take it back. Let's see. So if we go, we could actually, instead of doing an H2O2 gen, we could actually do fans on the sides of the cockpit, which would bring air in. We don't really need hydrogen except for, yeah, so what would we put in the back there that we would need? I mean, I guess we could put an additional thruster setup on here. But I don't know, what else would we do back here? I mean, the whole cockpit's kind of exposed on top here. It looks kind of like not streamlined, but useful. If we did a hydrogen tank, so say we did a hydrogen for power. Since we don't have batteries, we're going to have to do some sort of engine. Some sort of power generation. So say we did... yeah. I don't know, it's a tough call, guys. I'm just trying to figure it out. I think, well, I could do a hydrogen engine, and if I did that, I'd pop that up here. Be pretty exposed for any kind of attack, though. But it would provide us with, it would provide some power. And then if we did that, we would of course need to have an H2O2 generator to convert over convert over some ice. And if we did that, I don't really want to put that there. Shoot. See, the problem with this is we could put this here, but how is it helpful? Well, I guess it is helpful, but it's gonna have to do this. Gonna have to do a conveyor converter if we do that, and then put hydrogen tanks behind there so that we can get some fuel set up. And we're gonna need to armor all this up so it's protected. Oh wait, we can only do one here because that is on the top. Ah, man. Yeah, see, this is turning out to be a little bit more than I want to deal with like this. I mean, I think it's gonna be like really weird. Like, I don't know. We're gonna need to really have some serious thrust on this. Like, I don't even know if we can fit another. We may have to do a second turbine on here just to keep up this. And we can't, because we're getting into the weapons. Yeah, we're inside the weapons envelope there, unless we take this back one more. If we put this back one more, we could actually get 2 thrusts going up, and that would definitely provide sufficient power. But here's the problem. We could do 2 verticals and then do a bunch across the top. If we do, but here's the problem. We're going to need a lot of power to be able to get that up that way and to be able to fly it. But I guess if you've got enough, we may have to add some more reactors, which would provide enough power. I mean, that would give us the power and the lift if we did that. I mean, it's going to produce, it's going to need a lot of power if we do that, though. I mean, that's just going to, the power requirements are going to be mad. But can we get thrusters on top of here? Is that, nope. That's an air intake, so no. We'd have to go with multiple thrusts. Go probably in through this side here. And then go vertical. Yeah, we'd have to do it right here. Yeah, we need to do, we're gonna have to go and grab a bunch more going up like this, because this is gonna need to be like supported heavily, and we're gonna need more than just that engine if we're gonna do that, because this is gonna be like serious stuff. I mean, we're gonna need to have, it's gonna be like a tank flying. I swear, it's gonna be like a huge giant tank, because we're gonna need to have a lot of material. But it's going to be heavy enough that I don't think we're going to have a problem with anybody trying to shoot it out of the sky. If we do it, if we get this up right, and we'll do, like I said, we're going to greeble it and all that fun stuff. But I'm thinking, where are we going to put this? Let's put this right here. One right here. One right there, and then we put one here and one here, and then right here we can actually set up. Oh, yep. We've been flying around trying to get this. Let's drop this off here. Went through 2 tanks. Jeez Louise, we're busy. Okay, let's drop those. Let's get a replenishment. We're going to call this an episode here pretty soon, guys. I know next episode is definitely going to be expanding this and getting this grinder ship done, because this thing's turning out to be a pretty hefty setup, I have to admit. A lot more than I expected. We could put another turret on top of here if we really wanted to. That would give us a huge amount of firepower. But I'm thinking, here's the deal. If we add a small hydrogen tank right there, that'll be a tank that goes directly to the engine. And that actually is a pretty good spot for it. And we could actually probably get away with another one back here if we really wanted to. That would have access to the exterior. Because we do have, we are coming out a bit further, so that's actually probably not a bad idea. And that would be, useful. If we came out, say we came to here, and we did a conveyor converter here, and then we ran out. We could actually do a couple of hydrogen tanks. We could do 3 of them right across here if we really wanted to, and then mount those things on them, and that would provide additional hydrogen for the engine. But here's the other thing: if we have some ice, we should be good to go. And the other side too is we could always add, which we're going to have to actually add, additional. So if we take, we're going to have to take some of these off and add more reactors, because this thing's going to need a lot of power. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go through here and we're going to take these off and throw another reactor in there. We've got reactor components for it, so it shouldn't be a problem, guys. So let's go ahead and hop this one in there, rotate that in place. Boom, get that one in there too. We'll do it again on this side. I'm going to walk over the top of this. Let's see here. Alright, get that one in there. So now we have 4 reactors and a hydrogen engine that should provide plenty of power. And so, yeah. So, we've got a pretty good start on a grinder ship, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and work on building that up next episode. We're also going to go ahead and see about expanding our repair bay. I think we're going to go 2 blocks out. So that's going to be really good. So we're going to call this a work day. We're going to head back to our quarters where we're going to end the episode like we try to do every day by heading into the racks. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next time on Space Engineers, guys, and keep on building. You know the deal, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. That way the algorithm knows you like it, so I know you like it, and leave comments. I always respond to comments. Ideas, things you might have seen that I didn't see, or things that you thought of that I hadn't thought of. Let me know. Thank you so much.